This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, there he is, David Dwork. How are you doing, my friend? You doing good?
All good, Big O. How you doing, brother?
Very good. Can't complain. Just I was talking to Craig Mish, and I asked him about Sandy because you watch him go on the mound every 5 days, and it's just a marvel to watch what he's doing. So I asked him, is he a guy that's going to finish his career here? And for Craig, it was more of a cold thing of, I just want him to win. I don't care who's here, who stays, who goes. And I disagree with that. I think every team needs identities, and kids need to grow up with players and identify with them. And one of the examples I used, I think is great, is the Panthers. The Heat are so far ahead of the game right now, and the Dolphins, that those are terrible comparisons for the Marlins. But the Panthers are an exemplary example. Why? Because we've watched the Barkov, Huberdeau, and Ekblad commitment from the second they drafted them. They're what, 7, 8, 9 years in this team already, right?
Yeah.
From minors through, right? Something like crazy like that. And they're all signing extensions. So it looks like they'll be here for 14, 15, 16 years, right? So we're going to see their names on the rafters and all that kind of stuff. And so now there's a generation of kids that grew up with Barkov, Huberdeau, and Ekblad. And then I watched the owners also make the commitment, not just on the ice, but off the ice with what they're doing at War Memorial, because they're trying to weave hockey into the fabric of our community. And they're doing it by keeping the players around, by trying to win, by trying to build a product, by trying to create a practice facility where people can go skate and they can go watch the players skate and all kinds of stuff. So there's all kinds of synergy. For me, I think it's really important. We don't give Viola and Sifu enough credit for building the foundation that they're building right now. Ultimately, it comes down to the cold and callous ways of Craig Mish. You got to win. I get all of that. Stephen Ross is a great owner. He saves the F1. He brings the F1 race, saves the tennis tournament, builds a new practice facility, puts hundreds of millions of dollars into the stadium. He's as great an owner as it gets. The only thing is he doesn't get the great label. Why? Because they haven't won anything yet, right? So ultimately, I know that that's the cold place we got to go to, but I still think that building a foundation is important. And that's where I commend the Panthers, that they've done a phenomenal job of building a foundation of connecting themselves with the community.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a perfect storm of right thing, right time for the Panthers, because when you talk about what they're doing in the community, building up the Fort Lauderdale facility and really focusing on the outreach and getting hockey to not just different ages, but different parts of town. That's something that, it could have been done anytime. It's not like it's a new concept. It could have been done 15, 20 years ago. I think when I say perfect storm, I'm saying they're doing that at the same time. As you mentioned, they've got these foundational guys. They've got these build-on guys, the Ekblad, the Huberdeau, the Barkov. And it's all kind of coming together. Because even if they would have tried it in the last decade, when you're trying to build around guys like, who are the guys like Nathan Horton, Stephen Weiss, Jay Bowmeister. Like those were like the franchise guys back then, but none of them got to the level Barkov, Huberdeau, and Bowmeister and Ekblad, perhaps because Bowmeister had a great career. But you see what I'm saying, right? It's this great ownership group owning the team at the right time. The players they're investing in are paying off big time, and it's finally what else can you say? I mean, and back to Mish's point, the wins are there too.
Right,
it's about time.
Yeah, exactly. Because they are now getting into the playoffs. They got past the first round, which has been a terror for this team since '96. Right, they're building. So let's hope that they make that next progress. The Everblades now are going to be their minor league team, and I've never gone for a minor league hockey game there. I have gone for a couple concerts because I think it's the Hertz Arena. I want to say it's called. I'm not exactly sure.
I always just say Estero.
Right, it's in Estero, right, or Estro, or whatever it is. Is it Estro or is it Estero?
I've been saying Estero, but I could
Uh,
be wrong. I mean, I always
okay.
figured it was like one of those Caribbean type things.
Yeah. It's a cool little arena. Have you ever been to the arena?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it is Hertz Arena. You were right on
It
that one.
is. Okay. It
But yeah,
is.
I've been
Okay.
there a few times. I went to a Panthers development camp a few years back, or that they had a little tournament that they had there, and I've been to one Everblades game. I love those small minor league type buildings, just because it's kind of like minor league baseball, where you no matter where you're sitting, you're like you feel like you're right on top of the action.
Yeah.
It's a different environment than it is in a giant arena. So it's a really cool thing, and getting their affiliation with the Everblades, I think that's awesome because now you giving Panther fans a reason, a legitimate, tangible reason to cross I-75 and drive over to Estero or whatever it is,
Right.
and go to a game, and you can see Panthers property. It's something that you wonder, just kind of like what we were just saying. Why is this taking so long to get this kind of affiliation together? So it's a great
So
thing.
so
I'm
that was
excited for
my
it.
that was going to be my question. That's my follow-up is they've done this back and forth where they bounce around to different affiliates and they've been this affiliate before. So why not keep it right there when it's so convenient that dude, it's a 2-hour drive from your arena to that arena. Why would you want to move it to any other city up north where your prospects are so much farther away? And this is super simple now. What is it about the system that forces them to move around like they have over the years?
Yeah, that's honestly a question that's above my pay grade. I know that
Well,
there's some
that's your
teams.
homework for
Yeah,
next
right?
week.
No, there are some teams that have kept the same affiliates for years and years and years, and
Yeah.
there's just as many that bounce around to different affiliates. And I mean, we've seen it with the Panthers in the AHL, like they were San Antonio, they were Springfield, they were Portland at one point. They Charlotte, they shared with Syracuse. Um, so in the ECHL, I mean, they were in Cincinnati. Now they're going down to Estero again. Um, Hopefully, it's something that they can sustain for a while. Like again, as you said, I got to go do some homework and figure out why
Yeah.
this happens. But hopefully, whatever it causes it, and whatever has caused them to move around so much, maybe they can find a home here. Because there's a lot of reasons beyond just the stability that you'd want to keep your roots here. Yeah, it's
It's got to be cheaper.
profitable for both sides.
It's got to be cheaper, right? I can just send a car to go pick up a player and come back instead of a plane.
Yeah, well, you're not going to see like a guy jump up from the ECHL to the NHL. That would be pretty substantial. It's not like in baseball where like you could see somebody pop up from Double A or Triple A. It's a little bit wider of a gap in terms of the quality of play
It's
from
like
these.
low A baseball or something, right? Is what it is.
Yeah, well, it's like the
ECHL.
first step. Like
Yeah,
it's a pro league. Like
right.
it's a pro league in North America, which is awesome. But it's like if you're talking about grade levels, there's the NHL, there's the AHL, and then there's the ECHL, and that's kind of the process that goes. Now, a lot of times, a young talent is good enough that they'll pop him right in the AHL because they want to get him as ready as quickly as possible. But the ECHL, I mean, the Panthers have had guys that have like Mackenzie Weegar played in the ECHL, Mason Marchman played in the ECHL, Chris Streeter played in the ECHL. Bill Zito named a bunch of guys yesterday during his press conference. So it's certainly beneficial, and having that pipeline be that much shorter. That if you want a guy to come talk to your NHL coach, if you want him to get coached up or look at some video or whatever at the NHL quality, he's a hour plus car ride away.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm saying, hey, remember years ago they had that goalie issue a couple of years back. Well, you could have called your ECHL guy over to just fill in or
Oh
something
man,
like that. For something like. By the way, speaking of Mason Marchment, our thoughts and prayers to the Marchman family and Mason because he just lost his dad Brian at 53 years old, really young age. That I think he played 17 years in the league or something like that. Tough times right now in the Marchman family.
yeah, heartbreaking. I mean, Brian Marchment was, as you said, he was in the NHL for decades. Um, he's since retiring. He's been trying to work his way up on the executive side. He's been a scout with the Sharks. I was in San Jose last year with Mason, his first time back there, and just talking about going to games with his dad, watching him play, and like you get a sense there's a lot of hockey families that I just stay in the game for a while. And you know that they were close, and it's just devastating. And for it to happen at a time where everybody's coming together at the draft, and it's usually, a happy festive time where you see colleagues and you see friends, and everybody's coming together. It's just it's devastating. It's heartbreaking. It kills me. I my heart bleeds for the Marchman family. I can commiserate with them. I know what they're going through.
I lost my dad at 51, bro. So he lost his dad at 53, and it's just when I'm 55. I've already outlived my dad by 4 years. It's like ridiculous that I lost my dad at 51 years old, man.
It's
Just like, wow. It's just, you never recover from. I mean, whenever you lose somebody you love, you're forced to adjust to it. You never recover from it because it's just one of those things that is in your mind, and you just got to compartmentalize it for the rest of your life. To go around the league, by the way, we have Chris Grier here in town running the Miami Dolphins, and now we have his brother running the San Jose Sharks. So your thoughts on that? Because he was a hell of a player, by the way, and he's done what you were just talking about with Brian. He's kind of climbed up on the executive side of it. So, and remember, Chris Grier's dad was a personnel guy with the Patriots. So we're talking about a very athletic family and a very professional sports inclined family.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. The Grier family. I would love to be a fly on the wall for their Thanksgiving table discussions, just to hear kind of the stories that they're talking about just from what's happened in the last year for them. But yeah, I mean, it's awesome just seeing Mike Grier. I mean, obviously he's worked his ass off to get there. As an, like being handpicked to help build the Rangers up to what they were. We saw how great the Rangers
were. They're really good, bro. They're really good.
He played a big part in that. So to see him go back to San Jose, a place where he had some very successful years in his career. And I mean, obviously, bigger picture, to finally have a black NHL general manager to break through that wall, something that, was a long time coming. That's a great thing as well. You're seeing the NHL get much more inclusive. Well, different teams are. I mean, like with Seattle, like they've hired multiple women to their front office, which is a great thing. So it's just in terms of that, I love to see the progress. And perhaps nobody more deserving than Mike Grier, just for the hard work that he's put in. I mean, just putting his playing career aside, he's busted his ass.
And he was a hell of a player, by the way. He was a hell of a player too. Okay.
He was one of those glue guys. Like, he'd put up your 15, 20 goal season. He had a couple of good years, but he was also a hard checker. He was one of those like grits and gravy kind of guys that you love to have in your bench.
Good player, man.
Very popular.
Good player for a long time.
Yeah.
Consistent player, guy that you wanted on your team in your rotation.
Yeah.
Not a
star. You see, like he wore letters throughout his career. Like he was, he was respected.
Yeah.
And it's obviously it's carried over into his post-playing career.
Yeah. There's a thing about the way all these Griers carry themselves. You know what I mean? And it's obviously started with the old man.
Yeah.
And so you see the way the sons have carried themselves. They're just impeccable human beings. And then not only that, obviously they must have an eye for talent to do what they're doing now at this level. So it's I thought it was really, really cool. By the way, if I was home, I would have whipped it out for this segment because I have the jersey, one of my favorites of all time, the Orlando Solar Bears.
Oh, you have one?
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, when I saw that there was an Orlando Solar Bears, I wanted to go to the game and I wanted to buy a jersey because I saw that logo and I said, that's the coolest logo on the effing planet. It's a solar bear with sunglasses. And it's just badass, dude. I have that jersey and I have it happily in my closet. And it's one of those that I whip out once every 4 or 5 years or something. I'll whip it out and go out somewhere with it. And people are like, is that real? Like most people they think it's a joke. They think it's a Disney World thing. Yes.
They don't know.
Oh, you got that? Did you get that on Disney? What's that called? The
Mighty Ducks?
No, the area where they sell where Planet
the
Hollywood.
Wild World of Sports?
Yeah, no, not Wild World of Sports, where Planet Hollywood is at and all that other that whole Disney Village. Yeah, where they have all those
downtown Disney. Now it's Disney.
Yeah, the downtown Disney.
Yeah.
You have no idea how many people told me, "Oh, that is, oh,
Well, if
that's
you're
cool.
wearing it at Disney, of course, dude.
You got
Come
that in
on.
downtown Disney?" I'm like, "No, dude, this is like
Even
a
though
real."
it's in Orlando.
Yes, it's a real hockey team. It's a minor league hockey team.
No, man, I
And
actually saw the Solar Bears play at the old Orlando Arena back in the day, back when it was like Pat Neaton and Alan
yeah,
Bester on those teams.
this was like 15, 20 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
no, there's a team now. They came back.
Yeah, no, I know, but this is what I'm talking about is like 15, 20 years ago
Yeah,
already, right?
no,
Yeah.
that's for sure, man. It was fun, and they had a good team. I think they won the Kelly Cup one year back then.
Oh, they did?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think I could be wrong, but that you know,
well, that's why
I'm
you are
going
what
back to
you
when
are.
I was
That's
like
why
13,
you are
14
who
years
you
old.
are, bro. You know those kind of things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But it's still one of my favorite logos of all time,
yeah,
the
man.
Orlando Solar Bears.
It's awesome.
Those things are just absolutely awesome. All right, what do you got going on? Chirping the Cats, Local 10. What are you working on? What are you trying to unearth for us on Panther News?
Yeah, I mean, I'm staying as plugged in as I can right now. I was planning on going to the draft due to some family emergencies that have come up. I'm not going, but I'm still staying pretty well plugged in. And yeah, there's a lot to keep track of, whether it's what's going on in terms of negotiations with Jonathan Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar, which those negotiations are very preliminary stage, but they have started the discussions. Claude Giroux is a name that we're keeping track of. Is Patrick Hornquist going to get traded? Are they going to try to move up in the draft? The first round is tonight, 2 through 7's tomorrow, and already we're seeing, Chris Letang signed a deal. There's been talk about Marc-Andre Fleury perhaps staying in Minnesota, but nothing's for sure yet. We're seeing that Darcy Kemper's leaving Colorado. They just traded for Alex Georgiev from the Rangers. So I mean, and this is just, we're just squeaking out of the box here. We're just getting started. So there's a lot fun going on. In terms of the podcast, I put one out in the last few days, just kind of catching up and giving my take on the Paul Maurice signing, the Roberto Luongo Hall of Fame news, and a few, some of the things that I just mentioned that are going on. And it's right now, it's just the fun part, right? This is where, all the hard work and all the anguish going through all year of churning out stories and talking to people. And, this is where it's fun, where your free agency and the draft is going on and you're hearing rumors. And, this is where it's like hard to separate yourself from being a fan. And you have to remember, nope, I'm working here, but it's great. Like, this is what it's all about.
Damn right. That's what it's all about. And of course, A. Lenny Locksmith, by the way, 24-hour locksmith. So if you're locked out of your car, locked out of your home, if you need to reprogram that car key, they do it all throughout South Florida. I don't care if you're in Miami or in Coral Gables or you're up in Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale or Port St. Lucie. The folks at A. Lenny Locksmith have got you covered all throughout South Florida. Our friends that are Orlando Solar Bear fans, we can take care of you in Orlando and in Tampa. So check it out. We've got locations there, and also in Phoenix, Arizona for you Coyotes fans out there. We can take care of you out there. 1-855-869-5625 for alennylocksmith.com. You can go to the Twitter page at A. Locksmith. David, as always, thank you, my friend. Follow him on Twitter at David Dwork. You are the best. We'll catch up next week.
Have fun in Vegas.
Always. Good.
See ya.
You got it. There you go. That's your lockdown segment.